It's cold, baby. I don't know why. Every time. Just get hyped. I don't know why. It's just a good beat.
It's a banging little intro medley.
Ooh, a medley. Ooh. Okay. I hear you. Oh my goodness, man.
Scotty says hi, everyone. There he is.
Hello, Mr. Pippin. Vaya con Dios, mis amigo. I don't know why I said that. That's a goodbye greeting, not a hello greeting. Anyway. All right. Well, hello and welcome to Pardon Me, Alex. Here we are again. Sources say that we are the only lumberjack podcast out there, and they'd be right.
They're correct.
Oh, God. It's been a wild and wet. It's literally only Tuesday. I do this every week. Like, man, what a week. And it's only day 2 of the week.
I know. I especially feel like this week's already zooming past. I still have so much to do, and I'm leaving town tomorrow. Still got a laundry list of multiple items to do, so that's fun. I'm not stressed at all.
Not stressed at all. Jacqueline took it upon herself to plan an extra vacation without me, but that's okay. It's all right. I will get over it someday. It's okay.
For that, I don't still have Flat Alex. I could take her along.
I know, and I will not be able to fit into a carry-on. So, unfortunately, she'll have to do this one without me. But anyway, so a couple life updates. Let's see. First off, it's finals week for all the college students in the area, or I'm assuming pretty much most of Texas, I guess. And I am ready to be done. Let's just say that. I'm done. I'm tired. My body hurts. My everything hurts. I feel like I've went 10 rounds with freaking Ollie or something. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I need a break. I need a rest. I don't want alarms to go off at 6 o'clock in the morning anymore. Like, I'm done. So, in that spirit, we decided to, I say we, myself and 3 of my friends, decided to go to Dallas last night during one of the busiest weeks of college professor life. 3 out of the 4 of us are college professors, and to go watch a hockey game. So which was great, good fun. Went to the Dallas Stars and Detroit Red Wings game. It was actually good timing because one of my favorite players, Patrick Kane, he used to be on the Blackhawks.
Okay.
Joined the Red Wings like a couple weeks ago. So it just kind of happened all at the same time. So it was kind of weird. Anyway, so we drove to the game last night, went to the game. I almost said the Hawks. The Red Wings got their ass beat. Sorry, Josh. That's our friend Josh's team is the Red Wings, so that's part of the reason why we went. And then had one of our friends from the brewery, who's also a professor at SFA, Becky. She came, and she is a huge Dallas Stars fan. And then you have Tori, Josh's wife, who is neither fan of either team. She's a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. And then you have me, who really not a big fan of either team, but only cheered on the Red Wings because of Patrick Kane. So that was our ragtag group of travelers last night. And so I drove because you know me, of course, I say this all the time. I don't mind driving. I love driving, actually. It calms me. It's very relaxing, which is probably the opposite of most people. Anyway, so we found out on the way home from Dallas that Becky had never been to Buc-ee's before.
Oh, no.
So she's from West Virginia.
I was about to say, she's from Texas.
Yeah. So she's from West Virginia, I think, originally, and went to school in Tennessee. And so she's never been to a Buc-ee's. She's lived in Texas and worked at SFA for like 2 years, 3 years maybe. And I'm like, what do you mean? What? So I took a completely different route home just so that we could pop her Buc-ee's cherry. And it was about 11:30 p.m. when we rolled into Buc-ee's. And so we didn't get home back to Nacogdoches until 2 a.m. basically. So needless to say, your girl's tired. Yeah.
Feel that.
Oh my God, Kyle, we are all stressed. We are all stressed, Kyle. Hello, my friend, our friend. We love you so much. Next comment, Kyle said, look, I'm the only one listening in.
Thank you.
Kyle, you're not the only one. There's a few other people, but you are one of our favorites. We love you so much. And then the next comment, Kyle said, if it makes you feel any better, I have the 22nd through the 1st off. Woo woo. Woo woo. I mean, I have.
You know what that means.
I have starting Friday till January 8th off. So it's a pretty substantial break.
Well, aren't you lucky?
I know. I mean, it's not as big as summer, but I still work in the summer. Yeah. I don't take off really in the summer. I still teach in the summer, but it's all virtual. So that I guess doesn't really count as a break. Anyway, you get the point.
Yeah.
And then the last comment, we had a bunch of comments. Boom, boom, boom. Love me some lumberjacks. Hello, Mom. Adorable. So that was my news. Went to the game last night, did that. And then the other part of my news is going in tomorrow to get another tattoo.
So what are you getting tomorrow? Can you share with the group?
Well, I can't share a design because I don't have it yet, which is a little anxiety driven. But this is typically what happens is I do these appointments months in advance. And then I tell my tattoo artist who I go to for my big pieces what my thoughts are, like what my design kind of thoughts are. And then she totally just last minute draws up something beautiful. And I'm like, wow, done. Like, that's what happened with my Astros tattoo, like the night before. That's what happened with this tattoo, like the night before. So this is normal, not having the design yet. So I'm waiting to hear from her. I'll tell you the themes, I guess, the ideas and thoughts. So this will be, I guess, the start or the beginning. I don't know if I'm going to add on to it later, but of like my like kind of Texas, East Texas, SFA, lumberjacky kind of tattoo. So it's going to have a bunch of like different themes to it. And it's going to kind of either add on to like down here in this area right here or top of my arm right here. So it just kind of depends on the design and like what Krista / Spud, what she designs and cooks up. Because no matter what, it's going to be bomb, first of all. I mean, she drew this, you know. So, and this is like fucking, you know, pancake. It's easy for her. So we'll see. I'm excited. It's tomorrow at noon is when we get started. So
I'm very excited to see it.
Excited. Oh, wait, another Kyle comment. He's just on it tonight. And in March, we all get a break for a few days. Whack Vegas, baby. Here's hoping. I mean, I said it earlier. If we keep playing like this.
Yeah, I was about to say, hopefully not 5 days like last time, but
baby, I hope we'll even get there because we play. All right. I'm to that point already, and it's only December. We got to step it up.
I think we'll sort it out, but
I think so too. But my skeptic side of me is just like, don't get your heart broken. Don't get your heart broken. Don't get your heart broken. So I'm just remaining calm.
Every game's a new game. That's what we all got to tell ourselves for now.
I know. You both better come to Vegas regardless. Yes, sir.
I don't think it'll be an issue.
I mean, Kyle, I'm always down to go to Vegas regardless. So, sure, no matter what. I mean, I'll need a break by then anyway, and it's spring break. So, easy. You don't have to pull my leg on that. You don't have to pull my arm. Anyway, that's my news, my update, my life update. About to be done for the semester on Friday at 3:00. So that is my wrap up. Jacqueline, where are you going without me?
So I have an exciting trip happening. One of my very good friends, he's actually made a somewhat small cameo on our Duke episode because he met up with us. Wasn't able to go to the game, but met up with us for the SFA celebration before. Anyhow, he's an SFA alumni, John Ruizo, and he is doing his MBA at Yale. And I love New England. I love it up there. We used to go a lot whenever I was a kid. Anyway, to make a long story short, usually monthly, he has to go for one class weekend in person. And him and all of his friends from his class, they all fly into New York City. Then they go to New Haven, which is where campus is, for their class. Then they go back to NYC and hang out for a night before they all fly back home. And it always looks so much fun. And I'm like, invite me for a class weekend sometime. So they're having a winter formal. And so he asked me to go with him. So I'm going to drive tomorrow evening to Central Heights, stay the night with my grandma. She's going to be keeping Gabby. Thursday morning, leave bright and early, drive to Houston, fly out at 9:30 to New York. He's going to pick me up. We'll drive to New Haven, stay Thursday night in New Haven. Friday, they'll have class all day, so I can like wander around and sightsee. I've already made a little beginning Google Doc, y'all know, of stuff to do. Friday night is the formal thing. Then there's like a whole after party thing. Then Saturday, a group of 6 of us will go back to New York City, stay Saturday night, go somewhere nice to eat Saturday night for dinner. Then Sunday, most of them will go back. John and I was like, let's stay an extra day because I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to do. Like I haven't been to New York City in like 20 years. That tells me how old I am. And I've never been at Christmas time. So I want to do all the like
Christmassy things,
cliche New York City Christmas stuff.
Well, yeah.
And then we'll both fly out Monday. And then Tuesday is my birthday and a home game. So
are you going to come home on Monday? Are you going back to Tyler Monday and then coming back on Tuesday, or are you just going to stay here?
I'll drive back to Tyler Monday night.
Oh, crap. Okay. I was like, that's okay.
I want to see all my kitties and get
Of course. I know.
You'll know I'm already like anxious about leaving all of them. So,
but you do it a lot. So, I mean, like, they're good. They have someone to watch them. They're good. I know. I know how you get. But you have your pet cam.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, if it'll work in Grand Cayman, it'll work in New York. So you can always check on them that way.
Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm super excited to be back in NYC. It'll be a fun little like pre-birthday weekend celebration.
Yeah, definitely Christmas or not, Christmas and birthday present for you for sure. This is just for you. I'm very jealous. I've always wanted to do a Christmas at New York. And not because I like desperately want to go to New York City. I'm just not a big city person. But Christmas in New York is something I've always wanted to do. Like, I just think it's so pretty. That's just the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, there's some historical stuff in New York, so that'd be cool. I'm a big history nerd, so, that's like when we went to Montreal, I was just like, yes! Like, the historical aspect of Montreal was just right up my alley, and I was in having a field day. So.
I love New York City. The last time I went, I was like 12, and I was like, I'm moving to New York City one day. Of course, at the time, my cousins lived there, and so I just thought they were the coolest, and I wanted to do it. I would still I wouldn't like live there forever, but I think it would be so fun to live in New York City for like a year.
I mean, of course. Oh, yeah. I mean, I could see that. If I had to pick any big city, like, to live in for a year in America, I'm not gonna go overseas because that's a long list. Let's see, a big city for a year. Probably Boston.
I love Boston.
I would say either Boston, Somewhere in
Have you been to Boston before?
no.
Oh, okay. Oh,
The furthest north I've been, well, okay, is Montreal. Like I've never gone to like okay, let's say this. The furthest east I've gone, northeast, has been Pennsylvania. Like that's it. Anything north of Pennsylvania, I have never been. So I would love to, especially like in the fall, I really want to go to like Connecticut or Vermont. I would absolutely die. Just for a long weekend. Other big city I probably live in. I guess it's not a big city. I mean it's bigger than Nacogdoches, let's just say that. Probably like Bozeman. Like somewhere I'm, very much obsessed with Montana or Wyoming. So I would totally go somewhere there and live for a year and come back or something. I think that'd be so much fun.
Okay, well, speaking of Wyoming, let's talk about this game.
I know. Did you see what I did there? I made like a very seamless.
Perfect segue.
And this is why I wanted to go to the Wyoming game. I mean,
I do want to say that opening shot of B-roll footage they showed of the arena with the mountains in the background was stunning.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to see mountains again, Gandalf.
All right, so we're recapping the game from Saturday, December 9th. It was at We Will Make a Comeback. Yes, we will, Dennis. I agree.
Faith. We got faith.
So it was at, I want to say this is the dumbest name for a Coliseum ever. It's called Arena Auditorium.
That's the same name twice.
Just put together two words that mean basically the same thing. I don't get it.
That makes no sense.
Anyway, we played at the Arena Auditorium in Laramie, Wyoming.
All right, whatever. Which I will say, Laramie is a character in Yellowstone and also a type of truck. Anyway, continue. Fun fact of the day.
So going into this game, we had only played Wyoming once, and we lost horrendously. Back in 1988, it was 94-55. So there's your background. I didn't look up any other info on Wyoming. Sorry, guys. But they're in the Mountain West.
Yeah.
So there you go. And they do have an app that shows their games for free. So that was lovely. Didn't have to pay to watch it.
Yeah, that is nice. Mountain West is a little bit bigger of a conference, and so they obviously have a little bit more of a following and probably a lot more resources. So it's very appreciative that they provided the game and we did not have to pay for it.
Yes.
Because that is so annoying that these tiny conferences, make you pay $15 or whatever it is, or I don't even know, $15 for one game. Like, come on, man. Give me a break.
I know. And then in the past, some of the ones that I've paid for, like they automatically add you to their email list. And then I get all the emails that I have to unsubscribe from. And it's just really annoying. I'm like, you already took my money. I don't want you like blowing up my email inbox. But I digress. Tell us about the WAC standings.
All right. Well, current WAC standings are as follows. We got Grand came in first, overwhelmingly in first. They're playing lights out, but what else is new? I say that with a smile on my face. They're at 2-0 in the WAC and 8-1 overall. They only lost one game. Shoot me now. Next, you got Tarleton State, also 2-0 in WAC conference, 7-2 overall. Utah Tech 2-0 in WAC conference, 5-5 overall. So a little bit of trouble there is overall. Then we got a bunch of people all at 1-1 in the WAC. You got California Baptist, Seattle U, Utah Valley, UT Arlington, and us, which puts us, we're at 1-1 in WAC standings, and then also 5-5 overall. So we're batting 500 here, but not great where we want to be. We really need to pick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are hitting at number 8 out of 11. So it's been a while since we've been that far down in the standings. So not particularly fun there. And then flipping over into the resume seating, also I forget, we were at 4, we dropped to 6, and now we're at 7 in this resume seating. Right. Remember what I said about being positive? Yeah, we're not positive anymore. Right.
I do hate that for whatever reason. I still don't know because I haven't looked for the answer to be honest, but I don't understand why we started playing conference games so early, and I think that didn't help. But then the fact that like we're gonna have a few non-conference games mixed in might help us get our bearings for when we get started back to conference games. I don't know. I just don't like it. It's too early. We're not ready.
And I know there is a reason out there. It has to do with, I think, something with the fact that, now we play 20 conference games instead of, I think it was 18, because we have more people in our conference or less people in our conference. And so I don't know. We play everybody twice. Usually we only played a couple people once. And then because there was other games we played that were non-conference. Yeah. Also, which is something I did not know, was which Kyle tweeted it the other day, yesterday, I guess. Took a screenshot of it because I had no idea. Let me read it. I had no idea that the WAC voted on a new rule that you can't play more than 2 non-D1 opponents. Where the fuck pardon my French, but where the hell were we when that happened? I don't remember that happening.
Well, I don't ever get on Twitter, so that's probably how I missed it.
I'm on Twitter all the time, and I still missed it. I don't know how I missed it. I don't remember this happening. I guess it did. Whatever. Doesn't matter because they passed that new rule. And to tack onto that, if you play more than on the voted limit, so if you play more than 2, you will receive a penalty in the WAC resume seating system.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense, but holy crap. So, you're getting penalized now if you can't find people to play you that are D1 schools.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll forge better relationships between, various conferences that could switch off back and forth, like particularly probably us and Conference USA, because they're, they have schools that are relatively close in
right,
not only like size, but geographic distance. So
yeah. And that's definitely one of the positives of this alliance that we have with Conference USA is because, we won't be short on D1 opponents, but still, there's other non-conference slots to fill, and my God.
I guess we can always go back to getting some, Southland matchups.
If that's the case, that's the case. As long as it's not non-D1, I don't go on it. Now knowing that, shit, makes sense why because normally we would play like 3 non-D1 schools sometimes this season because there's just nobody to fill up the spots. But apparently there's a couple people that have already played 3. So they're getting penalized hard in the resume seating. And so interesting kind of turn of events there, which may come back and help us. Maybe. I don't even know. I need to look back. I think we only have 2.
That sounds right, but I'd have to look at the schedule, and it's been harder for me to keep up with the conference games since they're split, because normally you have the first little segment of the season that's non-conference, and then once we start conference, I can kind of start over the count in my head, and now it's all interspersed and math.
Right. So we had North American. That's for sure. I think that's the only one. Oh, Paul Quinn.
Quinn, yeah. I knew we were playing them.
That's it. Just those 2.
Okay, well then we're good.
So yeah, we're good. I think we only had 2, but last season I'm pretty sure we had 3. That maybe, I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're good. But still, wild penalty box. That brings me back to the game last night. Not a single fight.
Oh, what a disappointment. If I go to my first hockey game, if there's not a fight, I'm going to be very upset.
Not a single fight. And that's part of the, well, not part, that's not the whole reason you go, but that's a reason why you go to the hockey games in person.
Like, definitely.
Jesus, Pete, man. Anyway,
Okay.
that was sad. Continue.
All right. So now that we've talked more than we probably ever cared to about our current standing and seating, we'll go on to the game notes. So our starters, different lineup this game. We had Day, Frank, Trell, Jalil, and Cece. We did lose 78-70. Their attendance was 3,584. It still looked pretty empty in there. I know I always make that comment, and y'all probably think I'm being salty, but it didn't look very full to me. Anyway.
I bet you people say that about us too, though, to be fair.
Oh, I'm sure they do, but I say it then too. So.
Well, yeah, we admit it.
All right, so Sean Kennedy's stat section. I do want to say they were better this game on most points. So our field goal percentage doubled, 44.8%.
Love to hear it.
3-point percentage, like, times 6, back up to a normal percentage of 31.8. Our free throw percentage, decent, 73.3. Not gonna have any complaints about that. Our points in the paint were all right, 34. We did have 19 points off of turnovers, which I'm happy with. We had 14 second chance points. 8. We only had 7 fast break points. We had 41 bench points. Very solid. We had 31 total rebounds, 13 offensive and 18 defensive. We had 27 fouls, which is kind of a lot, but I mean, for us, not really. Just kind of about
as per usual. Yeah.
Turnovers, I'm not super pleased, but I'm also not like just super mad about it. We had 20. They also had 20, so even on the scales there, we had 14 steals and 4 blocks. Our game I cannot talk. Our game leaders, we had AJ with 13 points, 4 steals, 2 rebounds, and Day with 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 steal. So, Alex, who was your player of the game?
Well, you know what? I'm going to go this time with our boy Juice. Had high point. He was 100% on his free throws. His field goal percentage was pretty darn good at 5 out of 9. Played 24 minutes. He had a couple rebounds, like you were saying. He had 4 steals, which is fantastic. Again, the only number or category that I'm just shocked that he had 0 points in were the assists.
Right.
Very, very shocked because correct me if I'm wrong. That's kind of almost his job.
Well, I have a comment about that one later.
Right. But yeah, no, Juice, he played great minus the whole assist thing. So proud of him on that. That's my guy right there, our boy Juice.
I do agree with that, and Alex and I kind of had to split on this one because we had 2 that were evenly impactful. So I went with Day, the 11 points, the 5 rebounds, really helpful, 1 steal. He played a great defensive game, and I felt like he was starting to get his mojo back in the lane. So that was beautiful.
Love to see it. Tessin. Oh, Tessie girl. She goes, Juice.
Yeah. We know Juice is one of your faves. He's one of ours too.
Yeah, Juice is my mother's favorite player this year. But no, so really loved Day-Day's play this game. I really think that he, first of all, he had a new hairstyle. First of all, so add that to the mix. I think maybe he had a little bit of his juice back flowing. And another thing about the actual Juice, AJ, he is still kind of getting used to playing again full speed and full force after he had an injury. So I think it's just getting back used to his style of play. And so it's going to take a while. It's not an immediate thing. So just something to just keep in mind about some of these guys. Anywho, but yeah. I thought we played better. I really did. And there's a few things I just wish that we would have capitalized on and just kept the juice, kept the energy all the way to the end. And so, but yeah, I really do think that we looked a lot better. Passing was better, just rolling right into the strengths. Definitely had better moments of passing, definitely had better moments of cohesiveness. I think a lot of the stuff that we noticed that just went too terribly wrong at the last game looked like I said, a lot better. What do you think, Jax?
Yeah, so I think we looked vastly better than the last game, and I actually had really a lot of notes on my strengths list, considering that we lost. So I'll try to kind of condense them by topic. So we really did play, I thought, good D this game for starters. Jalil and Frank both played some really solid D. Clayton had a steal.
Matt Heyman had 3 steals.
There was, let me see. Yeah, Matt got a steal and a fast break on one of his steals. Jelani had a steal where it was a fast break between him and Chemo. That was great. Yeah, we played a lot better defense. So there's one note. We obviously did a lot better from the 3. We had Frank made 2. Trell only made 1 of 5, but it was really far out. And I have a side comment to that when we get to the grievances. AJ made 1. Nana was 2 of 2. Clayton made 1. I mean, we were definitely getting the mojo back on the 3s, so I was really happy for that.
Right.
Matt, our boy, was like doing his normal thing that we always brag about. He was fighting for his own rebound and getting the putback.
Love to see it, always.
He had that steal and fast break that I mentioned. There was one play where I was just like giggling to myself, but like it was a happy laugh. Did you see the play where he was like totally directing the play? It was hilarious. Like,
yeah,
he was up at the top of the key and you could tell that there was like some confusion, and he was like just barking out orders, telling everybody where to get. I love it because listen, sometimes if one person knows what's going on, if they can step up and can communicate and get everyone on the same page, then let's do it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate his enthusiasm and his vivaciousness, honestly. And if, like you said, if someone has to step up and do it, why not him? So go for it. Love to see it. I love to see it. I love to see a guy take charge and try to put the team on his back, even if he, didn't score as many points as probably he would want. Again, I always say it. You do other things. Maybe you direct traffic. Maybe you do this. Maybe you do that.
Yeah, his overall energy, you're right, is so great, and I just love seeing that because he's also one that you'll notice if you watch. I mean, during every dead ball or like timeout, I mean, you can see him going up to at least one of his teammates and like motivating them and communicating and kind of giving them a little, mini pep talk.
Right.
So that's very helpful. It doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but if you notice it definitely makes an impact, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Like I said, Day was making some great moves at the post. A few of them didn't fall, but they weren't bad shots or bad moves. But I definitely felt like he was getting back on track to the Day that we're used to seeing. So that was nice. Jelani made a beautiful move to the bucket too. Frank played a great game too. I know we didn't list him on the game leaders, but he scored 8. He was one of the top ones, but we had several guys right in the like 7 to 9 range. He made a gorgeous fadeaway jumper. He had a beautiful assist to Jelani at the post. I was just like, I love to see it. And I love to see especially a beautiful play like that between 2 of our transfer players who have never played together and never played with anyone else on our team. So that just shows y'all that's why I have hope that they're going to get it back on track, because when you see things like that, especially between 2 transfer players, Like they're putting in the work behind the scenes in practice and communicating and getting the vibe going, you know?
Completely. And we've said this, that, it's difficult when you have so many new guys, especially guys that are from vastly different programs and vastly different systems that all come together into this now new system under Keller and his staff. It's going to take a while. It's not just a snap of the fingers or a flick of the wrist and they automatically just know how to play with each other. And of course, that's what practice is for. But that's what also some of these, non-conference games in the beginning are supposed to be about too, is you can only practice and play each other so much.
Yeah, and you can only, like, people who have played basketball before feel this on a personal level. You can only simulate so much in practice, because in practice you're also scrimmaging against your teammates who
Exactly.
You kind of know what they're going to do. But every game is a new game, and even if you have the greatest scouting report ever, there's only you can't learn every tendency of every player you come up against when you're playing twice a week. There's just no way.
You're right. Love to see that. And I love to see the fact that you're totally spot on, the fact that you got the 2 transfer players from our in-conference teams working together. And again, I'll go back to this. Frank joined the team late, like August late. Like he wasn't even there for summer workouts because he was off doing whatever the frick he was doing, doing summer league ball, wherever he was. It doesn't matter. But just, again, know that he was not with the team late, and he's basically just kind of like seamlessly fallen into this group and has been playing really, really well. Like, slow start, but now we're starting to see the Frank that we saw last season that was kicking our ass in another school that will not be named. So now sorry.
Per his request, not ours.
Per his request, yes. Like, I'm not doing it on purpose to be funny. Like, he asks in general. So it's just good to see. I love it. And again, overall, that game, the Wyoming game, yes, we took the L. But in general, if we would have just finished it off and stayed strong and kept the defense up and just kept playing the game that we had been playing the entirety of the whole game, then we would have won that game easily. Yeah. Just didn't finish. And so way better game. Obviously, you could tell because we have a lot more positive things to say about the game. Yeah. Like, statistics were way better. They weren't like, holy shit, but they were way better.
Yeah, they were definitely passable stats. Like, you could look at those stats and think, okay, they had a pretty good chance of winning.
Exactly, because when you look down at the Wyoming stats, first of all, I'm shocked as shit. Wyoming had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players total that played this game, first of all. Okay, to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Did he put Davion and Luke in?
Yeah, at the very end.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So technically 13 guys suited up for us, and all 13 guys who traveled and came were on the court. So that was 13 to their 8. So anyway. The percentages on the field goals were almost dead on the same.
Yeah.
Dead on. The biggest difference were the 3-pointers. The free throws weren't that big of it. I mean, about 10%. But the biggest difference was the 3-pointers. Their 3-pointing shooting was a lot better, but they also took way less.
Yeah.
They only took 16 and made 9. So again, this was not out of reach here, people.
No. Not at all.
We were doing really well that second half. We were winning. We had a 10-point lead at one point.
Well, we had a 10-point lead twice, but
multiple times.
I digress. I have a few more really quick little feats of strength.
Yeah. Yes, go for it.
So I do want to, and I think I left him out when I talked about the 3-pointers, but AJ made a great 3 at the end that got us very close within reach of actually coming back and finishing this. So there's that. He also had a really great shot at the top of the key. And they did, this is my one good note for the announcers. They did make a few, which this is why it's such a conundrum to me when I get to the grievances, because I do have a grievance about them, but they did make a lot of factual positive statements about us. Like they talked about how within the last 20 years, we're one of the top 10 winningest programs in Texas. They, or whatever the number is, they talked about how we're currently 10th in the country on bench points at 36 a game. They even mentioned our Duke win. Like they were definitely putting respect on our name, but I do have some grievances when we get there. So we'll go right into that. And I forgot to pull up the video. Do you have it up or you want me to do it?
No, you could do it. I could speak on. So when I was watching this game, I wasn't watching. I mean, I was watching it, but I wasn't able to watch it as closely as I usually would just because the game was in the middle of the damn day and I was working at the brewery again. So I was trying to pull double duty. I do also have one completely random feat of strength that has absolutely nothing to do with the game and this situation that we're discussing. I'm just killing time while you pull up the video. Did you know that starting in spring 2024, you will now be able to purchase flights on Southwest with combination cash and points?
With what? Sorry.
So you can combo your cash and your points. So
that's amazing because literally I just had to book my flight from Houston to LaGuardia separately from my flight back because I was using points but only had enough to cover one flight. And it's always so annoying when they do that.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. I don't like it. I
agree because I was looking at flights. Where the hell was I looking at flights to? Just for shits. For shits and gigs, I was looking at flights to Utah to try to go to the Utah game in February. Just for shits and gigs. And I was like, oh, finally I have actually like a good chunk of points built up from all of the flights we've taken the past couple years. And I was like, I wonder if I'll have enough. I have enough points for one part of the flight, but I would have to, like you just did, book them totally separately rather than booking round trip. I'd have to do one way, book it, another one way, book it. I'm like, that's dumb.
I don't know why it's taken them this long to figure that out. And it's so annoying. And like this last time, which granted, part of it was my fault for waiting till like a week and a half in advance to book my flights. But like I've had just a few things going on lately. And so I was just trying to stair step one trip and thing at a time. But I'd sat there and looked up the flights and marked down the flight numbers I wanted, which I had to like write them down real quick since I was having to book them separately. Mm-hmm. So I booked my flight, and each one there was like 2 seats left on like the cheapest fare on Southwest. And by the time I went to book the flight back, the cheap fare was sold out and I had to book one of the other ones. And I'm like,
always.
Okay, I mean, I can't complain too much because I got the first flight free, but still at the same time, like it ended up costing me like $300 more than it would have for a matter of like 2 minutes.
Damn. Yeah, that stinks. No, because I was literally just sitting here doing nothing, waiting on you to find the video. And I got a Southwest notification pop up. So I looked at it and it said, on January 1, 5 ways rapid rewards will get even rapider. Rapid. Anyway, so there's all these things, and I just kept scrolling, looking, and then boom, right there, you can now pay for flights with cash plus points. We'll let you purchase your flight with a combination of cash and rapid reward points, starting with as few as 1,000 points.
Finally, like, what have they been waiting on? Literally every other website I know known to man will let you split payments on stuff. So I don't understand what the holdup was. Anyhow, all right. So
Thank you, Southwest.
On with our next segment. Here we go.
with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it. You.
Okay.
First problem is the time of the game. Like, the fuck? Come on, man. Right in the middle of the game? Right in the middle of the day?
Yeah, I didn't like the early afternoon game either because I was in the same boat as you, not getting to watch it live. And maybe this is one of my like weird quirk superstition things, but I just always feel like, I don't know. I hate them losing when I can't watch it live because I know it doesn't make any difference. But I'm just like, man, if I would have been watching it live and I was like focusing my energies on it and cheering them on instead of just like checking the score every, opportunity that I have, like I feel like it makes more of an impact. So I'll take a little bit of the blame for not watching live. That's just my weird superstition. But yeah.
I know. No, I totally get that, and I'm with you on that. Because I'm sitting there thinking, like, my God, if I would have just sat here at the brewery and, like, actually focused and watched the game, maybe it would have made a difference. It makes no difference whether or not I'm watching it, whether if I'm sleeping during it, or if I'm picking my nose during it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I need to get that through my head, but the middle of the day times are not great for me.
Yeah, they're not easy.
No, but anyway.
So I do have a few complaints about the announcers, and I'll say, and that's why I was saying, like, it was just confusing because I felt like they were sitting there saying such positive factual things about us. But then at the same time, I felt like they were super biased because they would have a play where like one of their players would horribly foul us and they would make some comment about like it seemed like a hockey game or something, and then we would get caught, which they were saying, like they were factually saying like our dude fouled really hard, whatever, but then we would get called for like the tiniest little hand checking thing, and then they would use exactly the same like analogy, and I'm like, that wasn't even worth calling, and now you're comparing. I just didn't like it, and
it's apples and oranges.
Yeah, exactly. And I just felt like literally every single time we got called for the tiniest thing, they'd say, "Oh, well, yeah, the ref got that right. The ref got that right." But then if the refs are doing such a great job, but then if they got called for something, they'd be like, "Oh, I just don't agree with the ref on that." I'm like, okay, I'm getting so tired of you guys flip-flop. Like you're flopping more than some of the players flop. But anyway, and then, I mean, Kyle did get a tech. Coach Keller got a tech, which whatever. It's going to happen every once in a while. I'm not even mad about that. What I am mad about is their coach should have also gotten a tech because when they called a foul on their team for that player literally kicking his leg out when he was shooting a three-pointer and tripping Matt, their coach was whining way out of his box, just going on. And of course, it was one of those where at first the announcers were like, "Oh, well, it is just, I mean, it's normal when you shoot for your leg to go forward a little bit." And then they sat there and show the replay, and you can literally see him like purposely do it. Matt trips, and then they're trying to backpedal out of it and be like, "Oh, well, I mean, it does look kind of odd." And I'm like, yeah, it's obvious. Like Stevie Wonder could have seen that one, but anyway,
so that just bothers me too. Like when it's obvious that both coaches should be assessed a technical, or then just do it. Like if both sides are being combative, like just do it.
Yeah, I just wanted the
same energy on both sides.
Yep.
Same energy. That's all we ask, is that if you're going to call a foul on one side because they did something wrong, fair, fine. But also call it on the other side when they do the same exact thing.
Yeah, their coach definitely deserved a technical on that one.
It's annoying.
So that's all my grievances that like don't actually have to do with our team. But my first one was just, where did our 10-point lead go times 2? Because it happened twice that we were ahead by 10.
Thank you. That was just the most frustrating part of it for me, honestly.
I will say it's frustrating, but then again, that is what like it's going to be a grievance. I'm going to mention it because we had a 10-point lead 2 different times that we gave up. But it is so early in the season that we're already starting to play. We've already played a few conference games. We have all these new players and transfers. I mean, like half our team is brand new. So I think it's just going to take a few minutes. And so I'm just trying to be hopeful. And I feel like, I know the guys on the team and all the guys on staff are 10 times more frustrated than any of the spectators are.
Right.
This is where we have to practice patience as a virtue. It's only even mention it as a grievance more because it is frustrating and disheartening on the fact of I know we're good enough to get these wins, and I want that for the guys. So
yeah. I care less about me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't about me. This isn't about you. It's not about any of us. Like, I want them to win for them. For them, all their hard work, all their dedication, everything that they've put into this blood, sweat, and tears, the team, each other. Like, just with any other sport fan, you want them to win for them. Like, this is not like, obviously, selfishly, yes, I would love wins, but it's not for me at the end of the day. You know, like, I feel bad when they lose. I feel bad for them as people, as individuals.
Yeah.
You know that they're absolutely being harder on themselves than anyone else on the planet is hard on them. Coaches, fans, whoever, they're harder on themselves. They are their own worst enemy and worst critic. So if you think that by calling them names or being rude and disparaging on the internet is good, well, you can just take a long walk off a short pier, babe. Like,
yeah, and not that anyone who does that is listening to this, but I'll little PSA. They need to stop because it really makes me so mad. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's a basketball game. It's a game. Your life is not going to be affected if these guys lose a game. Like, you will wake up tomorrow and keep playing along.
They're college students. Like, for God's sakes, like, when they leave here, when they leave SFA after the years of being here, their life goes on. Like, they don't need some schmuck sitting in their fucking basement at home saying, oh, well, you suck. Like, you should kill yours. Like, just being so fucking disrespectful. Like, excuse my, like, I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Like, grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up. Like, sports, we all love it. We live, breathe, sleep, die for it. But
I know.
Get over yourself.
I don't think it was after this game. I think it was after the previous game. Someone commented on the SFA basketball post on Facebook. Tess says they better not, or those people will have to answer to Nanny rants. LOL.
You better watch it.
Because someone commented on there like, you're an effing disgrace, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, we're talking about like 18, 17 maybe to like 23-year-old dudes. Like, your life's not over. Please don't bring this negative energy. And I tried to report it as hate speech and Facebook did not remove it, but I tried.
I mean,
because it is hate speech. It's hateful.
They could say what they want. Here's the thing. You could say what you want. Should you? No. But you can say what you want. But it makes no fucking difference because, like, by you saying that, they're not going to have a better or worse like, you're just you're kidding yourself.
Yeah, and I want to make 2 quick points before I move on from this, and then I'll drop it because it's really not even worth giving these people the airtime, but they're not listening to this anyway. The ones who say that. But number 1, this generation of guys who's playing, they ain't on Facebook, so they're not even seeing your comment. They're on Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok. They're not looking at whatever this, middle-aged man living in his basement said on Facebook. They aren't even seeing it.
No.
And number 2, like, did that make you feel better? Like, does that make your day better that you said something hateful to a potential teenager? Like, did that help you feel better? Because if so, you're pathetic.
Pathetic.
But as far as the game, I really only have a few little notes of things I think we could have done better. I think we had too many missed buckets, like right at the rim.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that all of them were bad shots. Maybe I think it was like a 50-50 that some of them were a little forced, and then some, it was kind of like our problem from the game before where they looked good. It was a good move. It just didn't fall in. But
like
those are easy buckets. Yeah.
That's it's been plaguing us all season. So I agree with that. It's just something that we just have to work out of our system. It's like a bug. It's a virus.
Yeah. I felt like we just kind of let them make too many easy buckets in the lane.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one thing that I feel like could have made a big impact. And then last but not least, and this goes towards my comment about, or what I was alluding to between Trell and AJ earlier. Why do we have Trell running point guard?
I don't know.
Because he's probably our best 3-point shooter and needs to be out on the 3-point line trying to make a 3. And then AJ's not getting as many assists because he's not running point guard. So I'm just a little confused on that. However, I am going to make one comment that I think might be the reason why they had Trell running point some. I kind of feel like Chemo maybe was a little sick because for one, he
only played 5 minutes.
He only played 5 minutes, and there was one time out that I caught where on the outside of the huddle where their backs were to the camera, he was standing beside Clayton, and he kind of had his arm like up on his shoulder, because Clayton's taller.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of like leaning his head against his shoulder, and it just kind of looked to me like something was not completely right. Like he was kind of like almost like holding on to Clayton, like kind of like resting on him. So I feel like maybe he was a little under the weather or, some kind of not feeling great. So that very well could be the reason for that.
Yeah. And that would make a lot of sense just because of the fact that he of course only played 5 minutes. I mean, he really wasn't in the game at all. But also in that 5 minutes, like he got 3 personal fouls too. So his head just wasn't in it, I don't think. So that would kind of attribute to not feeling well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my synopsis for that. But so hopefully that's the reason, because if so, I totally understand.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be a grievance for me because I think Chemo and AJ are both great guards, and that frees up Trell to make us some threes. But if Chemo was under the weather, then that makes all the sense in the world, and I'll shut up now.
No, I mean, but I definitely understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered all of the kind of main points for the kind of the main points of the low points of the game. The biggest one for me, and you already said it at the beginning, was just the fact that we blew multiple double-digit leads, and you can't do that, especially on the road, especially when you're trying to rebound from a big L. I mean, and we came out of the gate swinging on this one, and we played really well, and it was just. And it was very frustrating, for them to come down to the end of the game like that and be so close to the W. And it just didn't happen. Didn't happen. Okay. So moving on, Jacqueline, one word to describe the entire game. I'll just kind of continue with mine. I said in the beginning, it was a DNF. It was a do not finish. Just like when you're reading a book and you can't finish it because you don't like the story. It's not what you're feeling. It's not one of the ones that you want to read 1,000 times. You just DNF it. You don't finish it. That was that game. It was a total DNF. We just didn't finish, didn't cross the finish line, which is, again, very unfortunate because I thought that we rebounded from that loss at Louisiana Tech versus Louisiana Tech pretty well. We're in a different state. Laramie is a high elevation city. Yeah. I mean, there's 7,165 feet above sea level.
And that, of course, I'm sure played a role as well, because anyone who's been
Yeah.
to a place with a really high elevation, especially I think they only went like the day before.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of time for your body to adjust, more especially if you're really running around a lot and the breathing's a little bit more difficult and you get dehydrated a lot more easily. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of factors. So
a lot of factors. And so that was another thing to consider, is the fact that we played pretty decently with little to no high elevation exposure. So that's positive, but also a negative. So yeah, I mean, and it was cold as balls also. So that, a different atmosphere, different climate. I mean, a lot of contributing factors, not saying that those are all the reasons why we didn't win the game, but it was just a lot. So just didn't finish, didn't bring it home. And I'm hoping that this time in between this game and the Tuesday game with New Mexico, they reset.
yeah, I hope so too. I hope they have plenty of time to regroup and not dwell on it for too long, because like I said, every game's a new game. You got to just leave that one in the dust and keep on moving. So I was literally on the same wavelength as you. I just said incomplete because it looked a lot better. We looked a lot better. All the stats were a lot better. We were just this much shy of finishing. So
Like a hair, really close. It's like bringing it back, a hockey puck reference, since I was just at the hockey game. Like literally you shoot a freaking snipe dinger off the left wing and it hits the freaking post and ding, that close to a game-winning goal.
So like Alex was saying, hopefully they rebound back, because our next game, it's over a week. Well, no, it's not. It's a week from today. Sorry.
Week from today, yeah.
I was doing these notes thinking we would do it yesterday or something. Anyway, week from today, the next game is on my birthday at home, Tuesday, December 19th. All my Sagittarius out there. We're at home versus New Mexico State. So we're gonna see a few faces, a few familiar faces.
One that I could care less about and one that I'm really excited for.
I know. Yeah. Hooten can whatever. But we better get a JJP hug after.
God, I hope so.
I mean, we've had past players before come give us a hug. So Samaja did. Maybe JJP will come give us a hug too.
I hope so. I really do. But yeah, so I'm really excited for the game on Tuesday. Obviously, of course, it's my girl's B-Day, so we'll be celebrating her at some point. Either
we'll have a little pregame for sure somewhere.
I'm assuming, yes. I was like, I figure we will go pregame somewhere, have a drink, or maybe two.
I think last year we did Nine Flags before, right?
I think so. I think that'd be fine. I would totally be down to go to Nine Flags. They have a couple new Christmas drinks, so.
I know. I saw that the other day too.
Harold, I'd be down for that. So yeah, I think maybe going to Nine Flags, have a drink or two before the game, and maybe an appetizer, and then go get this W versus New Mexico. That would be
all I want for my birthday.
We gotta get the winning ways back together at home. It is the Sawmill. It is our home. It is our home base. We got to get the winning ways back. I mean, if you want more people to come to the Sawmill, losing is not the way to go. And I know that that's obvious, but come on.
This is going to be a tough one, though. So
it will be. And I know that. You know that. I know that. A lot of people know that. New Mexico is no slouch.
And listen, as much as we love to hate him,
He's a good coach.
I hate even saying the words out loud, but
he's a good coach.
He's a good coach. He is.
There's a reason why he went from Sam Houston to New Mexico. He's a good
I'm
coach.
sure he's a lovely guy. We just have to love to hate him.
Our besties.
It's his teams, and if he was bad, we wouldn't even waste breath on him. But
facts. True. Very true. Very true. But anyway, so excited for Tuesday's game. Be back in the Sawmill. If you're able to come, highly recommend. Please, please, please. I know it's a Tuesday night. And so it's hard for people out of town to come. But shouldn't let that stop you. There's multiple people that came to the last home game and it was out of town and it was during the week. So.
And it's like almost Christmas.
Yeah. Come on. That is the only bad part too, is because next week SFA obviously is officially on break. So the students, so for the next like month, the home games, if there's any, which there are, there won't be any students there, but it's not like they cheer anyway, so it's not going to make a difference. So
that right there.
Yeah, just spitting facts. Sorry, like not sorry, but here we are. Okay, well, Jacqueline, all I have to say is that if I don't get a selfie of you at Rockefeller Center in front of the big ass tree,
you'll get one, I promise.
Okay, good. All right, good.
Well, picture taking. You'll know I've already planned a massive array of outfits.
Yeah, so much so that you're having to probably bring 2 suitcases for a 5-day trip.
I'm exactly the meme you've seen where it's like, well, I'm going to be gone for about 3 days, so I should pack 50 outfits in these 3 ball gowns. That's me for every trip ever, because I just never know what I might need, and I don't want to be on a trip and be like, wish I had whatever. I'm definitely going to be prepared. You can guarantee that.
That's true. I mean, when we go to Vegas for the 5 or 6 days that we're there, I mean, we literally have to bring 2 suitcases because we don't know what the frick we're doing.
Yeah.
We know there's basketball and that's it. Other than that, it is a absolute crapshoot. So
anything can happen in Vegas. It's a free for all that we must be prepared for.
Must be prepared for every situation and scenario. Well, I hope you have a great time. I'm very jealous. I will live vicariously through your snaps and your pictures. I hope you have a wonderful flight, and I know you will because you're going to fall asleep within 3 seconds of sitting down. So that's not an issue there. And I will see you on your birthday.
I know. I can't wait.
So excited. So excited. All right, my dear and my loves, have a wonderful night. Do me a favor, go check out the Sawmill Six Man, the NIL Collective on sawmill6man.com. If you are also feeling frisky and want to spend some money on some cool plates for your car, do me a favor, go to myplates.com/lumberjacks. Go check those out. Easy, fun way to support SFA athletics and get some badass plates for your car. And last but not least, if you are also feeling feisty and want to spend more money and support your SFA Lumberjacks and all of the entirety of the athletic department, consider joining the Purple Lights Fund too. So there's a lot of opportunities to give back to the athletics, to give back to basketball, to give back to the Lumberjacks in some shape, way, or form. So if it's the holiday season, you're feeling generous, you want to make a charitable donation, other than making the charitable donation to our online store for Christmas presents, those are your other options. So
lots of SFA spirited options, and they all benefit something good.
It's either going to benefit the players or your 2 favorite podcast girls for their travel budget. So
to hype up the players.
Correct. See, again, this all goes back to the Lumberjacks.
All full circle,
if we are in attendance, then it just makes it the chances are higher of a potential win.
I like to think so.
It's just stats. It's just statistics. It's easy. The math's on that. Anyway,
lumberjack math.
That's right.
Math.
Yeah, I'm just talking shit now. Oh Lord! All right, I'm tired. Time to go to bed. I had a long day. I had a long day last night. I couldn't talk at all today. I was in just absolute confusion 95% of today. I was just sleep deprived. So I'm gonna go to bed early tonight. Bet your bottom dollar there. But I will send you a picture of my tattoo when we're done.
Yay! I can't wait to see it.
Me too. I just got a picture from Spud about what she's thinking so far. So I'm gonna send her some thoughts and changes, maybe get her to move some things around, and then put a stamp on it. We're done. So I'm excited. So yeah, baby. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Stay warm. It is a crisp 46 degrees in Nacogdoches, Texas. I don't know what it is up in Tyler, but probably a couple degrees cooler. Clear night, full
Okay.
heart, can't lose. I messed that quote up, but on purpose. All right, y'all. Have a good night. And as always, Axe 'em Jacks.
With Alex and Jax.